Hello and welcome back to another episode of IPoly. I'm Manny. Right now, the US government is telling everyone that they're going outside to please wear a face mask. However, this is becoming more and more difficult to do as all over the world, face masks are running out of stock. If you're in need of a face mask, don't worry. We here at IPoly have a solution. You can simply make your own by using a handkerchief, 2 rubber bands. To make this face mask, you will need a handkerchief and 2 rubber bands. First, you're going to hold the handkerchief in half, then into thirds. Place rubber bands in the areas where you want to fold your handkerchief. Adjust if needed. The stacking makes multiple layers, which means there's multiple layers of defense while going outside. Adjust the rubber bands if needed, and put it on. And that's how you make a coronavirus face mask out of a handkerchief. Due to the variety of handkerchiefs themselves, the customization of these face masks are practically endless. Please remember to stay safe and practice social distancing at home. Thank you for listening, and now back to your regular news segments. Due to the current health crisis, many stores all across the world have closed down. This is due to a safety reason to not spread the coronavirus. However, many businesses had to remain open as they're essential businesses, meaning that we cannot live without them. These businesses include grocery stores, restaurants, and auto body repair shops. The people working at these essential businesses are risking their lives every day. To find out more what it's like working as an essential worker, we have Isaac on the scene.
With stay-at-home orders put in place for the coronavirus, there are many businesses and stores forced to shut down. Now labeled as essential workers, people who still go out and do their job have to face many differences. As for me, a mechanic, the problems I really face are that there are a minimum amount of people in the office, and also that I have to wear a face mask. Doesn't seem that different, right? But it does make a difference when you're in 90-degree plus weather. Now let's hear from another essential worker to see how they are doing.
My name is Jason Garcia. I live in Covina, California, and I work at Stater Bros in Azusa.
How has your job been different from before coronavirus to now?
Before the coronavirus, it was a very calm grocery store just like others, and we didn't have to do as much cleaning as we do now, but now since the pandemic has been going on, we have to deal with not only a lot of hectic people, but we have to be on top of cleaning a lot of things, working with masks and working with gloves. Something that bothers me the most would have to be the customers. Some of them can't understand that we don't make the rules, obviously, but, just one thing, like, let's say, for instance, like bag situations, we can't use other bags, and a lot of people like to use their bags, and at the same time, they give us, attitudes, and we have to just deal with it, and just etc. With cleaning carts, a lot of customers complain that the carts are not clean even though we're on top of it heavily, but just the customers for most cases.
Do you think that your job as an essential worker is really essential?
Our job, I feel like it's a very important thing, because not only there's a lot of hoarders going on, but we also then give an hour early access for the elderly. So unlike other stores where everyone's just for themselves,
This has been Isaac for IPoly. Back to News Desk.
Thank you, Isaac. All across America, movie theaters have shut down, which means that movies that would come out in the next couple of weeks have either been delayed or indefinitely canceled. However, a new option has appeared in the past couple of weeks, this being video on demand. Movies like The Invisible Man and Trolls World Tour have been released online for you to rent or to purchase. However, some of these movies are pretty expensive to rent. For example, Trolls World Tour in some platforms costs $20 to rent for 48 hours. In order to help you decide which movies you want to watch at home, we have Gabe reviewing some of these new video on demand releases.
So as you all should know by now, a lot of films have been canceled due to the coronavirus pandemic. So films like Mulan, The New Mutants, Antlers, A Quiet Place Part 2 have all been canceled or delayed. So during the first week of quarantine, Universal announced that The Invisible Man, Emma, The Hunt, and Trolls World Tour will be released on VOD. So on the bright side, we still have early access to some of the films that are supposed to be released in theaters by now. So that's something to keep us entertained during quarantine. The Invisible Man was directed by Lee Whannell and stars Elizabeth Moss portraying this woman who is fleeing her abusive boyfriend. And once she flees, everything starts to go well. That is until she starts noticing this invisible figure stalking her. She believes it may be her ex. Elizabeth Moss has an amazing performance in this film. You get to actually feel and relate to what she's going through. Now I know you can't relate to her in terms of being stalked by an invisible man. Like, I don't know about you, but at least I don't have an invisible figure stalking me, lifting objects and throwing clothes at me. Another thing I really liked about this film is that it could have easily turned corny or cheesy, but they were able to commit to that psychological aspect of this horror film. My biggest issue with the film is the fact that I feel like the trailer really ruined the film for me. They threw up the entire plot on the trailer already. My final verdict, 8 out of 10. Onward is directed by Dan Scallon and stars the voice talent from Chris Pratt and Tom Holland. It's the story of two elf brothers who live in this magical world where magic exists. I like how original the plot is. It's a brand new world, brand new universe, brand new franchise for Pixar. I was never bored during the movie. The voice acting is really strong. The film has a lot of clever ways into introducing humor through real world lens. But a problem I did have with the film is that I found it kind of hard to connect with the emotional aspect of the film, I guess, because I don't think I mentioned the fact that these two elf brothers, they went on a quest with their dad's legs. And I'm not even kidding. The emotional impact wasn't as strong for me, but it's still a pretty dope quest movie. I'm feeling a strong 7. Birds of Prey was directed by Kathy Yan, and it sees Margot Robbie reprising her role as Harley Quinn. I can't really imagine a better Harley Quinn portrayal than Margot Robbie. She was great in the film and even in the fight scenes, and she's suitably psychotic in the film. The fight scenes I thought were shot well. They were all shot wide, so you can kind of observe every little detail that's going on throughout the fight scene. And it's also a very colorful movie too. The cinematography and the color palette is just very expressive. I gotta admit though, there's some excessive voiceovers throughout the entire film. It kind of makes the film feel very back and forth between commentary and an actual movie with a continuous plot. Character development was also pretty poor. I think the whole entire film was too centered around Harley. But other than that, it's just a fun movie to watch and nothing too deep about it. 7 out of 10. Alright, so what do you guys think? Do you think films released around this time deserve a later release date? Do you think some of these films are better off streaming and some are better off on the big screen? Feel free to leave your opinion down below. I'll most likely not read them. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great...
Thank you, Gabe. Because of coronavirus, many restaurants have shut down their dine-in restaurants. However, this does not mean that the restaurant itself is completely shut down. Many food delivery apps like Grubhub, Uber Eats, or DoorDash have made delivering food to your house more easy. Thanks to these apps, ordering food from home has become more easier. However, it does not mean it's become cheaper. Ordering fast food every day can get pretty expensive, so another alternative is cooking, and thankfully grocery stores are still open. In order to show you how easy cooking can be, we had Ethan trying to make the perfect meal. Thank you, Ethan. 2020 census is here. If you don't know what it is, the 2020 census is a survey that most adults in America have to take. It records where they live, who they live with, how much money they make, amongst other things. This is one way for the US government to know the population size. However, a lot of people are still confused on what the 2020 census is. However, many students are confused on what the 2020 census is. In order to clear up some confusion, we have Muhammad here with a special report about the 2020 census.
Article 1, Section 2 of the Constitution required the population of the country to be counted every 10 years, known as a census. The previous census took place in 2010, and thus after a decade later, it's time for another census. Now traditionally, volunteers would go door to door and have people fill out the census forms. However, in 2020, we find ourselves within a pandemic, making it impossible to maintain social distancing while trying to get a count with the traditional method. So for the first time in US history, the census could be completed online. In March, Home Across America started receiving letters. The letter containing step-by-step instructions on how to complete the census. If you are unable to do it online, you could still do it by mail. You are legally obligated to answer each of the questions. If you do not respond to this, a Census Bureau interviewer will be sent to your house to complete the process in person. The census is very important because the government uses this data to determine how much money will be spent on healthcare, education, public transportation, and many more. Furthermore, the count also determines how many representatives will be sent to the US House of Representatives and all other forms of representation in the government. So if you haven't done it yet, do it today. The government is counting on you.
Thank you, Muhammad. And now for your ASB Minute.
Hey IPoly, my name is Millie Mehta, and I'm so excited to be your Activities Director for the 2020-2021 school year. One fun fact about me is that I love to travel. Bye!
Hey IPoly, my name is Isis Baggio, and I'm super excited to become the Publicity Director for the 2020-21 school year. One fun fact about me is that I love boba.
Hey IPoly, I'm Haley, and I'm super excited to be Appreciation Director for the 2020-2021 school year. I hope you guys are staying safe, and I'll see you next year!
Hello IPoly, I hope everyone is well, healthy, and safe, especially during a time like this. And my name is Ashley, and I'm going to be your next year's Financial Director for eBoard. So I'll take care of fundraising, budgeting, and the money. And fun fact about me is that I've been animating a lot recently, and although it's stressful sometimes, it is really fun to express myself artistically.
Hello everyone, I'm your next Communications Director for IPoly ASB in the year 2020 to 2021. And that's one fun fact about me.
Hello IPoly, my name is Ash, and I'm super excited to be your Secretary Director for ASB in the next 2020 to 21 school year. A little fun fact about me, I really like to draw and play the drums.
What's up everybody, it's me Zomar, your ASB Treasurer, and I'm here with another ASB Minute. So, currently ASB is working on a type of Spirit Week that we'll all be able to participate in again. That Spirit Week will be coming up soon, so just keep your eyes open on news on that. Also, make sure you're following our Instagram account, because on our Instagram account we'll be posting a lot more information. So please follow our Instagram account, watch for any news on that. And then also, real quick, I just want to talk about the Minecraft server. So recently the Minecraft server has been pretty chaotic. There's been a lot of fighting, and people have been using a lot of profanity, which just causes chaos. I want to remind everybody that there are rules to the server, and if you don't follow the rules, you will receive a punishment. The rules, you can find them when you spawn into the school, and they're located right in front of the school. It's hard it's hard to miss it. So just please follow the rules. It keeps everything friendly, and just be friendly with each other. But if you're not in the Minecraft server, the link is ipolyhighschool.mc.ug. So if you're not in it, please join up on it. And that's all for your ASB Minute.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of IPoly, and make sure to practice social distancing at home. I'm Annie, and this has been your IPoly.